Hello there. White Witch 110 coming to you. I have our fireplace channel. Can anybody else talk into their remote? That's what we do. We hit this and we talk into it and tell it where we want it to go. It is early morning, 6:32. Hubby's gone to work. Yes, it is a Saturday. He's put out the mats out the front in the lobby. They've been sitting since spring, so he's freshening them up. Even though they were cleaned before they were put away, he wants them to be freshened up. So he's gone ahead and he'll be doing that. As you can see, what I will be doing today. I can't remember what all I had chosen because I accidentally threw out the paper. But I know two things for sure will be soul cakes, which in my case are cookies, and cake box cookies. Cake box cookies are in here. These look yummy, but I can't remember what they are. I did have some other ones picked out. Actually, I have apple cookies, so I'll have to go get a couple of apples at some point. I did have an orange cookie, but I think I scratched it off. I'm not sure. But anyway, so this is what we'll be doing. Sorry for the shaking. I'm holding the phone. I'm starting off my morning as I usually do. Toast. Most of the time tea, but today I'm having hot chocolate. That's how we start out our mornings at work. We did have a little hiccup, yes. Well, at the time it felt like a big hiccup. I did my usual thing, going into the kitchen, straightening out all the chairs, any garbage that people have left that they couldn't themselves, full adults, put in the garbage. I put in the garbage, like working in a restaurant. I noticed that the witch hat that I had left on a chair for people to use to take pictures, we've only had one picture sent in. And then the woman came to me when I said, oh, you're the one the picture's of. She came to me later that morning and asked me not to put the picture in because she was not aware that her coworker had taken the picture. So the one and only picture I got to put into a scrapbook, I scrapped. So it looks like at this point, there are going to be no new pictures of people joking around. And especially I had that beautiful backdrop that I bought. And we're going to have no pictures of people in front of it. So anyways, to go back to what had happened, I noticed that the witch hat was gone. So automatically, I placed the blame on a certain group of people because of things that have transpired. Admittedly now, totally wrong. I totally take that. Should not have jumped to it, but as we all do, you jump to conclusions. In this case, I was wrong. Now, I seen hubby when I was walking up the kitchen. I asked him to go look just in case I wasn't looking properly because I was in like, where the heck is the hat? And he said, no, it's not there. So instantly we made our assumptions, as I say, that we're wrong and take full responsibility for that. And the anger just flowed. And it's like, fine, we do this so that people can enjoy. And to think that somebody went ahead and took something, possibly thinking that the company that they work for had bought it, when it wasn't. It's us. It's our money that we put out because we want to, as a thank you to the respect that we received from a great portion of the people who worked there. And that was just, it just sent me and him off the rails. So the decision was made, as we've talked about this in the past, that if should something like this occur, everything was coming down and there was to be no baking at all. And there would be nothing for the following, which in this case is Christmas. There'd be no decorating, there'd be no baking. And considering hubby had just spent a slight amount, I'll put it that way, on new baubles for the ceiling, that was a slight tick off. But, you know, we have the building here, the superintendent. We've given him stuff last year, and I gave him the old backdrop that we had last year. I gave him that to use downstairs. I was already looking at stuff that I could give him to make the lobby really spooky. So we started by taking the decals off the tables, which was the crows. The crows came off nicely, but I just was not in the mood to go get the paper to put them on. So the crows, the spider webs that I had saved from the year before and the year before, even the It sticker that I had, he came off in pieces, all that, all off the tables. And then I said, well, before we do any else, let's just do it on the weekend. Let's not spend our whole time doing that. He took the cats and the birds off, the crows off of the cupboards. And that looked, as you see, if you've seen the video of it done, it looked great. That's all gone. Except for one spider web on the island, all that's gone. The sides, no, the sides are still there. Then I took some of the window clings because I had promised them to one of the ladies there. And the funny thing is, the two people that I promised these Halloween things to, both of their daughters are named Chloe. Is that not just crazy? So I had already given some to the one, to the woman for her daughter, and she enjoyed putting the stuff up. She thought it was great. So I separated some for the one and some for the other. And I took down all the eyeballs that I had. I was going to change them out next year anyway. So both girls got some eyeballs to put up as window clings. And then we stopped it at that and figured we'd go in today and finish. So I had mentioned it to one of the gentlemen when he came in, just not to expect any baking because this is what has happened. He wasn't happy, but he understood, which was very nice. And then hubby had posted on our Facebook what had happened. So then that, I guess he got a few comments on that. Meanwhile, I had texted the woman at work to let her know, I've left this on your desk. Hopefully nobody touches it, because that's the state of mind I'm in. Although no one in that section, I believe, would. But I just wanted to let her know that they were there, and then I let her know what happened. So needless to say, she's upset. Her husband's upset. The next thing we know, one of the higher-ups, he apparently went into the kitchen to hubby when he got in and was telling, no, please don't. Don't take the stuff down. Let's give it time. The gentleman that we report to, he was supposed to be off, but he came in because there were a couple of things that he had to see to. And hubby told him what was going on, and he said the same thing. Let's just give it some time, see if it shows back up, understand where we're coming from, but let's just give it some time. Which to me says well, we already knew that they appreciate what we do. And we've come up against this last year where we were seeing people that didn't appreciate, but we know the ones that do, and you're caught in the middle of what to do. Do you just do baking for those people and place it on their desks, or give it to them as you see them? Or do you go ahead and, it's going to sound bad, but reward everyone? It was a conundrum, and we ended up going ahead and baking for everybody. So that was the thing here. We don't want to take the stuff down because we know how much they enjoy going in there and seeing it. And some people, as soon as they see some of the stuff going up, they come in every morning, and that's what they're looking to see. What new have we put up? Is there anything new that we've purchased to put up? You know, every year we want to make it more and more spookier for them. And there are those that really appreciate it and they enjoy it. And that's the ones that we want to continue doing this for. The same thing for Christmas. They're going to be seeing different things for Christmas this year. Things that we've added, things that, well, the whole ceiling is that's changed. For the most part, the blue baubles that were on the ceiling last year, I gave to our superintendent for our tree in the lobby. So there is a whole new theme. What hubby, I think I've mentioned this, what hubby had seen in his mind to put up there, unfortunately he couldn't get those baubles, so he went with an antique, which means myself, I'm also looking at changing up some of the things on the tree. So we'll be looking at, I'll be looking at some stuff through Shein that I can change that up as well. So anyways, getting back to the hat. Things go along. One of the gentlemen comes up from one of the spaces downstairs, and hubby's telling him about it, and he says, oh, he's seen it on so-and-so's desk. And it's like, well, why is it there? So they said, well, this person brought it down. This is how I think it went. The person went and brought it down and put it on this other person's desk. So we went down to look for it. It wasn't there. So we find out the person who has it, and it's off-site, was using it for a certain function. And the other person had suggested it, and he was the one that took it down. He profusely apologized, twice at least yesterday. And I made him see, we don't mind if you want to borrow it, but ask. And if you don't see us, then at least leave a note saying, we couldn't find you, we're borrowing this, it'll be back, like not to worry. But when you come in and the thing's not there, your mind automatically goes to somebody's taken it. Mind you, we got it for a package of, I think, 6 or so. I got it off Shein, either Shein or Temu. So, I mean, it wasn't great amount of money. Like, it wasn't no 20 or 30 bucks. But still, even if it's just a few bucks, still, it isn't, first of all, it isn't your property to decide what to do with it. It wasn't your money that bought it. Now, granted, of course, that's on us because that's what we choose to do. But there still has to be respect for that. And although the person didn't mean any harm in it, they didn't think. But I assure you, from now on, if there's anything that he wants to borrow, he's going to be asking. And that's all we want. Is hello, Waverly. That if you want... No, that's Mommy's. You get down. Get down. Get down, baby girl. Come on. Get down, get over, get somewhere. That's all we ask. other people have wanted to borrow the animatronics. My Aubrey. I'm very connected to that one animatronic, and I said, unfortunately, no. I can't let her be borrowed out. I didn't feel comfortable. There is something else, and I had said, unfortunately, no. I'm very, very protective of my Halloween, just the way I am. Christmas, I think the only thing that I would be really protective of would be my village. I took that in last year. I'm planning on taking it in again this year. But we'll see what happens. But I'm very protective of that, of course, because hubby and I did spend a great amount on it. Of course, it's up to us. We're the ones taking it in. Onus is on us if we do. I understand that. But it goes back to ask. That's all you have to do. It's not too hard. So we did. The lady whose daughter, I put the stuff on her desk. Her husband started joking around, saying, I think I'm going to take that. Believe he called him a scary kid. And that's Charles, the peekaboo. That was my mom's. Yeah, I think I'm going to take him on a road trip, and I'll send you pictures of wherever we stop. It was hilarious. Mind you, his wife and I were talking about something else, so we weren't exactly understanding what he was talking about at first. And I kept saying, we're on a different page than him. And she's looking at him, we're on a different page than you. It was hilarious. But, yeah. So this is the explanation video. So whoever is still here listening, thank you. I will be next reading the story. So that'll be the next video you see. You may get this one and that one. And then the baking, that will be spread out. Each thing I make is going to be a different video. There are ones of me making the soul cakes or soul cookies on here, but I'm going to do it again anyways. So all the baking I do is going to be separate videos. Will likely take you to Halloween. And even though you've seen hubby make the tarts, butter tarts, and make his fudge, which I don't think he has the chocolate chips for yet. No, he doesn't. That'll be, even though it's been done before, I'm going to put those in as well, as far as I know right now. But for sure, when I'm going to bake, you're going to be seeing. So until then, from Definitely Fall is Here, Ottawa. Ciao for now.